I'm Andrea Seisler, an Executive Board member of the Juniata Valley Council Boy Scouts of America. It is my pleasure to welcome you to our virtual Good Scouts event. This event is a combination of the spring fundraising efforts we were unable to hold earlier this year. Tonight, we will recognize our Eagle Scouts, Shawnee District Good Scout Ted Pannebaker, the Joseph and Suzanne Paterno Community Impact recipient Kerry Benninghoff, and from Eagle Scout Terry Fossum. Thank you to our sponsors for this evening's program and to all of you for your support of Juniata Valley Council and our Scouts.
Color guard, attention. Audience, please rise. Scout salute. All others, please prepare yourself for the Pledge of Allegiance. Color guard, advance. Color guard, halt. Please cross the colors. Color guard, post the flag of Pack 69. Color guard, prepare yourself. Prepare to present the colors. Color guard, present the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Color guard dismissed.
Troop 31, State College!
Scout sign. Please repeat after me the Scout oath, Scout law. On my honor.
I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Good evening. My name is Daniel Hamer, and I'm an Eagle Scout with Troop 117 out of Altoona, PA in Blair County. Thank you for joining us this evening for your generous support of Scouting in 2019 and 2020. We have welcomed 24 new Eagle Scouts into our ranks, joining a prestigious group of young men and women around the country. The Eagle Scouts of Blair County for 2019 and 2020 are as listed. Out of Troop 3028, Kenneth Robinson. Out of Troop 3060, Brendan Schaefer. Troop 3032, Ian Smilnak. Troop 3115, Joshua Sister. Troop 3031, Samuel Tinker. Troop 3020, Nathan Walk. Troop 3031, Jesse Weir. Troop 3028, Alex Dunlap. Troop 3030, Timothy Green. Troop 3031, Noah Hoover. Troop 317, Ryan Kimberling. Troop 3028, Daniel Custerborder. Troop 3020, Jacob Orr. And Troop 3057, Jacob Riley. Troop 3053, Zachariah Richardson. Troop 3034, Abram Malott. Troop 3053, Cyrus Simmon. Troop 3032, Isaac Kuntz. Troop 317, Daniel Hamer. Troop 3358, Ethan Dilling. Troop 317, Pierce Kondo. Troop 3020, Caleb Orr. Troop 3034, Jacob Scarborough. And Troop 3053, Joseph Kunzman. Thank you again for joining this evening, and good night.
Good evening. My name is Ryan Bennett, and I'm an Eagle Scout of Troop 71 of Three Springs, Pennsylvania in Huntingdon County. Thank you for joining us this evening and for your generous support of Scouting. In 2019 and 2020, we have welcomed 6 new Eagle Scouts into our ranks, joining a prestigious group of young men and women around the country. The Eagle Scouts for Huntingdon County for 2019 and 2020 are Troop 71, Ryan Bennett. Troop 24, Zachary Stiver. Troop 204, Connor Clark. Troop 204, Bradley Hoop. Troop 28, Adam Watson. And Troop 25, Wyatt Campbell. Thank you once again for joining us this evening, and good night.
Hi, I'm Luke Fogelman, Eagle Scout from Troop 106. Please join me in welcoming the Eagle Class of 2019-2020 of Shawnee District.
Hello, I'm Nathan Long, an Eagle Scout from Troop 66, and would you please join me in welcoming the Eagle Class of 2019-2020 from Nittany District.
Please welcome our guest speaker, Terry Fossum. Terry grew up in one of the poorest communities in the United States. Scouting helped him overcome those influences and become an Eagle Scout military officer, businessman, adventurer, actor, and most importantly, a dad. You may recognize Terry from his 2017 appearance on Fox TV's first episode of Kicking and Screaming.
Tonight,
Please watch the champagne.
10 total divas are packing their bags for the adventure.
Welcome to the jungle.
Oh my God, you're Louie.
Of a lifetime.
Ew.
They must survive a merciless jungle, paired with hardcore survivalists.
We even have the Boy Scouts of America.
I don't only wear my Boy Scout uniform out here, I wear my Boy Scout uniform proudly in my heart.
10 teams of total opposites battle.
And leading people who had no idea about anything.
For $500,000. It all starts now. Kicking and screaming.
You are paired with your total opposite.
He's a Boy Scout, and I play video games for a living.
Terry's a Boy Scout master, and he takes that seriously. I mean, I know he's representing everything, but, you know, I mean, I was kind of done with that when I was a little kid, you know what I mean?
Blair!
Oh my God.
It is a race. Oh my goodness!
Jeremy!
At the prize challenge, Kerry and Natalie collided.
This is helping. I think this is helping.
But they hugged it out in the elimination challenge. The winners here, Kerry and Natalie.
A team united.
The Boy Scout connects. Kerry and Natalie, you have won the challenge and will return to camp with ultimate power.
Ultimate power! Attitude is everything. The boys on my troop are going to laugh their butts off at this.
Definitely wish I could have brought my dog.
Ah,
I wish I could have him.
he would have been tasty.
No! He's moving now! Okay, they're both moving.
They're both moving.
I'm so sorry! Leave!
Now!
First team that will be going to the finals, Terry and Natalie.
We're definitely the comeback kids. We're in the finals! Come on, Terry.
I throw the first spear, and I miss. I throw the second spear.
Terry now just throwing the spears, and he has the splint.
I go insane.
Natalie climbing up, Terry right behind her. Natalie lighting the cauldron ablaze. Woo!
Is it in?
We have fire and we have a winner. Terry and Natalie, you are the kicking and screaming champions, and you have earned $500,000.
There's no way in the world this was going to happen, and it just happened.
Winning the whole competition is not only life-changing for us, but I feel like it should be
a story for everyone.
Yeah.
We can go through the fighting and come back together and work together. If we can do that, anyone can do that.
Well, hello, and thanks so much for having me here today. And thank you so much for being here today. Today, you're going to change the lives of countless kids and change their futures forever. Now, how do I know that? Because that's what you and others like you did for me. See, you don't realize this, but you had a profound impact on my life. That's right, you and others like you changed the course of my life forever. So that's what I'd like to talk about today, is exactly that. I'd like to just tell one story, a scouting story. Now, I know it's just one of millions and millions of scouting stories out there just like it, but it's the one I know the best because it's my story. Well, to be able to tell that story, we're going to have to go way back. In fact, we're going to have to go way back. This is a picture of me in my daddy's arms. And this is a picture of me and my two brothers. Now, you might be wondering which one I am. Well, you see the taller, better looking, more distinguished looking one? Yeah, that ain't me. You see the little one that looks like he's just about to get in a whole lot of trouble? Yes, that would be me. And we were born in a place called McAllen, Texas. Now, you may have heard of McAllen, Texas. You may not have, but McAllen, Texas is actually the poorest city in the entire United States of America. That's right, the poorest city. It's actually on the border of Mexico. And, you know, I love my hometown, I really do, but it could be a little rough growing up there sometimes with all the gangs and all the drugs. In fact, I'll never forget one night. I was about in junior high, in middle school. I was in my backyard, and I heard a noise in my back alley. Now, if you hear a noise in your back alley where I come from, you check it out, right? So I jump over my back fence with all the bluster of a 14-year-old boy. Dum-dum-dum! Now understand, that's a really bad idea. You don't want to be in my back alley at that time of night. But it got worse. In fact, it got a lot worse. When all of a sudden, boom, these headlights hit me. Now that's bad because headlights, of course, means a car. A car probably means an adult in my back alley at that time of night. Well, we've got a drug deal going on. Or robbery. Or something much worse. None of which they want a 14-year-old witness to. But it got worse. It got a lot worse when the guy walked out in front of those headlights with the assault rifle and aimed it right at me. 14 years old, wondering if my next breath would be my last, staring down the barrel of a gun. But see, that's where I come from. That's my background. That's when I was in middle school. When I was in high school, my father, my dad, was killed. Just like that, I would never see my father again. And before he died, one of the neighbors came up to him and said, I just want to make sure you understand something. Those 3 boys of yours, those 3 sons, not a single one of them will ever grow up to be anything. See, that's my background. That's where I come from. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be here with you guys today in this amazing event. I'm supposed to be on drugs. I'm supposed to be in a gang. I'm supposed to be dead. But see, he didn't know something that we knew. He didn't have something that we had. We had you. Thank God we had you and people like you. People that cared about a kid like me. That didn't just talk about how important it would be to help out the community or how bad things are in the nation and somebody needs to do something about it. People like you, heroes like you that are willing to step up and do something about it. Thank God we had scouting. We wouldn't have had scouting if it wasn't for people like you. And I'll never forget putting on my Cub Scout uniform. I still remember wearing it, I really do. How proud I was of that uniform. And you know what's important is at that age, gangs are recruiting. I was going to join a group of some sorts. The question is, what kind of a group was it? And guess what? That's not just in my neighborhood, that's in your neighborhood as well. I joined scouting. And then I got into Boy Scouts. And you guys introduced me to something called the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. And that was a whole different credo than was being taught on the streets of McAllen, Texas. And then, Well, then I went to a place called Philmont Scout Ranch. Philmont Scout Reservation. It's a high adventure base. And I was on a special program where it's called Rayado, where we did over 50 miles in a day. 50 miles in a day with full packs in the mountains. Now, I'm not a big guy. I was smaller then. I couldn't do it. I didn't have it in me. I just couldn't take another step to go those 50 miles in a day. I couldn't do it. But you taught me that I could right then and there. Right then and there, you taught me that I had more strength in me than even I knew that I had. You taught me that the impossible was only impossible if I decided it was. And that's a lesson that has lasted throughout my lifetime, as all scouting lessons do. And then I went to something called Boy Scout Summer Camp. And that was utopia, man, because you're not just immersed in scouting for 1 hour a week, you're immersed in scouting for a full week. Immersed in the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. And my major male role model was dead. But you gave me a lot of other major male role models who taught me not only was it okay to be trustworthy and loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, all of those things, but it was expected of me. And then I got my Eagle Scout. And at that point, you gave me an Eagle Oath and an Eagle Charge. You taught me that I was a marked man and that I was to live the rest of my life representing Eagle Scouts everywhere. Can you imagine if we had more young men and young women out there acting like that? What a difference would it make in our world? And I got my citizenship in the nation, my citizenship in the world merit badges. So I became an officer in the United States Air Force. In fact, I became the executive officer for an entire group of nuclear B-52 aircraft. Is that insane? I'll never forget one day I was sitting in battle staff. Now, battle staff is like the war room as seen on TV, as seen in the movies. The big room where you've got all the classified boards and the big table in the middle of it with all the brass. I actually had a position in battle staff, me. And I remember one day, I will never forget sitting there looking around and going, I can't believe that I am here. And I remembered back to that dark alley and that assault rifle and the fact that I was never supposed to grow up to be anything. And I thanked God for you and people like you that made all of that difference in my life and are making that same difference in the lives of so many others. And then from there, I got into business, and I was very, very blessed. But the Order of the Arrow taught me it's not about me. It's not about lavishing luxuries upon myself. It's about lifting the burden of others. So when I found out about Malawi, Africa, the poorest country in all of Africa, listen, there was a child dying of malnourishment every 6 seconds. And how long have we been enjoying this event right here? Well, we built a school for agricultural independence over there. So we would take the outlying villages, we'd take a representative from the different villages, and we'd bring them in for an entire year, an entire growing season, and teach them how to grow crops. Then their job was to go back out to those villages and teach the others how to do the same thing. And listen, as a result of that, in the past several years, there hasn't been a single death due to malnourishment in the entire country. See, when you give to scouting, your money stays local, but the effect literally goes around the globe. These are my boys. Because when you help out a scout, you don't just change that generation, you change generations to come. So they recently turned 18 and got their Eagle Scout. Pretty much in that order. I don't know what, 18 is the cutoff, and it seems like half of these kids wait to the last minute. Maybe not half of them, but mine certainly did. And they were finished, so I'm asking God, okay, what do you want me to do now? Whatever it is, I'll do it. Be careful what you ask for. Because listen, I went down to check my email one day. No big deal, right? We all do. I got this email. This is Metal Flowers Media Casting Company. We're casting a brand spanking new reality survival television show, primetime on Fox, pitting 10 of the top survival experts in the country against each other, while dragging along a complete novice, kicking and screaming. And we think you'd be great. And then I get asked a lot about the grub. See, I've eaten grubs in the Amazon jungle before doing survival. That's no big deal. They're actually kind of tasty, believe it or not. But see, those were grubs, okay? This was a grub. Cigar size, slimy, squirming, guts literally squirted out of my mouth when I chomped on it. Grub. Ew. And people ask me all the time, how could you do that? How could you eat that nasty thing? I tell them it's easy. I eat Boy Scout cooking. We've all eaten nasty stuff there. And now for the next story, I need to introduce you to my buddy, Ben. Hey, don't judge. We've been out there a while, okay? See, it was day one in the jungle. Day one. And we're all talking about how we don't want this show to be like a lot of the other shows out there, okay? We don't want there to be all that backstabbing and group voting and all that. And right at that point, Ben comes up behind me. Now, he wasn't dressed like that. He comes up behind me and goes, I got your back. And he keeps walking. Like, I got your back. I don't even know this guy. He's got my back. But for the rest of the show, Ben had my back. We had each other's backs. We would work together. When it came time to build a shelter, he comes up to me and goes, so, you want to build a shelter together? You're a United States Air Force survival instructor. I'm going yes on this one. And we would help forage for food together. And every step of the way, Ben had my back. Let me ask you, what kind of a person would be that loyal? Ben was a scout. In fact, he was a senior patrol leader, the boy leader of a unit. See, those lessons they learn go through the rest of their lives. And for the next one, I need to set this up. We went to a competition area, and there is food, a table full of food. And again, we were starving. I'm like, there's a trick to it in there. And there was. See, we could taste it, but we couldn't eat it. Here's how. Big table full of food, cargo net in the middle, and scales over on the other side. Our novice was on this side of the cargo net. We are on the other side. It was their job to go pick up food, hand it to us through the net. We drop it on the scale, no big deal, right? Unless your hands are tied behind your back. And that was the problem. But we were doing great because we identified corn on the cob right away. Easy to pick up, easy to pass off. It weighs a lot. We were cranking, guys. We were in first place by far. We were so far. Second place was way behind us. We've got this. And then the worst happened. I tripped. Did you see that in the video? Where I face planted on the ground. It hurts every time I watch that video. See, I didn't just trip. Oh, no. I flew through the air with the greatest of bam, face plant right on another tree root. It almost knocked me out. It really did throw me for a loop. I mean, oh my gosh. I'm writhing around on the ground. I can't get up. I barely know what my name is. Now, second place, this is second place right here, Jason. Now, Jason is ecstatic, right? Because he was in second place. Now he's in first place. He goes in for the win. But that's not how it happened. Jason did the unthinkable. Jason stopped and helped me get up off the ground. Can you imagine that? See, Jason's going for, and his team going for $500,000 also, right? Jason wants to win this thing. What kind of a person? I've never seen this in these kind of shows. What kind of a person would stop and help up the competition? Who's winning? You guessed it, a scout. Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, a scout. And I love this final picture of the entire show because to me this epitomizes scouting. It's not about us. Scouting is about elevating other people, regardless of what their backgrounds are, regardless of where they come from, what they may be going through. We elevate others. That's what you taught me to do. And that's what you're doing here today, right now, is you're elevating kids that you don't even know exist. And you're helping them succeed in ways they don't right now think possible. I'd like to finish off with just one more scouting story. Now, before we get into this, though, I have to tell you, not every story has a happy ending, okay? Not every story has a happy ending, but we can learn from it. Is that okay? All right. Remember that taller, better-looking brother? Let me introduce you to my brother, Mike. This is what he looks like now. Now, if you think I'm a little crazy from the things that I've done, Mike is really crazy. See, he had this idea he was going to become, are you ready for this? An astronaut. An astronaut, right? We don't have astronauts from my hometown, okay? That's not the way it goes. And again, not every story has a happy ending, but we can learn from it. Because Mike went for it. Well, yeah, him and several thousand other people, right? But he went for it. And guess what happened? No, he didn't make it. No. So now Mike understands he's not going to be an astronaut, right? Try door number 2, right? No, he went for it again. And this time, nope, he didn't make it. Again. Now understand, going for it isn't just writing NASA a postcard. Dear NASA, I'd like to become an astronaut. Thank you very much, right? No. It's a 2-year process. 2 years of doing all the different paperwork, the mental exams, the physical exams, the psychological exams, getting yet another advanced degree to heighten your chances. It's a big process. Now, 2 years. Mike's gone through it twice. How many years has he failed? 4 years of failure. Now Mike understands he's not going to be an astronaut finally, because that hurt. No, he didn't. He went for it again. Okay, wait. He went for it again. Oh my gosh. Okay, he went for it again. Oh my God. Well, now Mike finally understands he's not going to be an astronaut, right? I mean, how many years is that? He went for it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 5 times. 10 years, a decade of failure, a decade of getting his hopes all up there, getting so excited. Maybe this is the time, this has got to be it, to get slammed down again. I can tell you that Mike was heartbroken. Mike was absolutely heartbroken at this point. Now he understands he's not going to be an astronaut, right? He decided to go for it again. Now understand, not every story has a happy ending, but we can learn from it. And this time, NASA chose 6, and he was number 7. Oh my God. 7. So close, but so close means no, right? But it got worse. It got worse when his boss at NASA called him in at the time and said, now, Mike, you understand you're not going to be an astronaut, right? We've been trying to tell you for 12 years, you just don't cut the mustard, buddy. You get it through your head yet? You're not going to be an astronaut. Wow. But it got worse. It got worse when he said, Mike, you're no longer eligible. It's no longer improbable. It's now impossible. You're too old. We don't accept astronauts at your age. It's over. It got even worse than that, if you can believe that, when he said, Mike, we've been trying to tell you for 12 years, work your career for your career, or you're going to lose your career here at NASA as an engineer. Stop chasing this pipe dream and work your career for your career. If you don't about face immediately, you probably won't be working here at NASA anymore. Wow. That was it. That was it. All those dreams, all those aspirations, all those hopes for all of those years. And that was it. When I found out that Mike was going for it again, even though it wasn't improbable, it was now impossible. There's no way it could happen. I called him up and said, Mike, I want to make sure you understand something. I don't care. I don't care if you become an astronaut. I don't care. I could not care less. Because there's no way in the world I could be more proud of you than I am right now. When he got the phone call, he knew right away from the tone of the voice what the answer was. One of the guys said, Mike, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 14 years of his life, 14 years for this one myopic goal, this one dream, this one aspiration, showing the Rio Grande Valley of Texas, McAllen, Texas, that there really is potential out there. You really can make dreams come true, all to be shut down with 2 words, I'm sorry. When he was in grade school, he got a book on space. And in there he wrote, when he was in grade school, he wrote in there, someday we'll touch the stars. I'm sorry. And what the guy said next literally dropped Mike down to his knees. When he said, Mike, I'm sorry. You no longer work here. We tried to tell you, come clean out your desk. Because you've been selected to be a United States astronaut. See, Mike didn't only go up once, he went up 3 times. The 3rd time he went up for 6 months as the commander of the International Space Station. While he was up there, he recorded a short video for Scouts. Would you like to see it? Hope so, because I'm going to play it. Here you go.
Greetings. My name is Mike Fossum. I'm an Eagle Scout, a Scoutmaster, and an astronaut. Special greetings from the International Space Station. This is a greet the scouts, the scouters. I really like going out there and having a lot of fun with my friends in the troop and other troops from the area, and adventures. Adventures around the corner, adventures out in the woods, adventures along the water line. One of my favorite merit badges that I took one summer as a scout was the astronomy merit badge. I loved looking up at the stars on campouts and stuff. Now was my chance to really begin to learn more about them. It really piqued my interest in huge ways. I spent a lot of nights out there under the stars sharing my love for the stars and astronomy. Somewhere along the line, I kind of woke up a dream that was in the back of my mind. I didn't want to just study and learn about those stars. I wanted to reach out and touch them. You never can tell where your adventure might lead, how it might make a difference in your life. Don't worry about that too much, though, because really, it's about fun, friends, and adventure. I'll see you on down the trail. Mike Fossum signing out from the International Space Station.
You remember that guy that said we'd never turn out to be anything? Remember that? We do too. Now, it's okay. He still lives in McAllen, Texas. We know who he is. That's all right. It really is. But he probably has to bite his tongue every day when he's listening to the radio or watching TV and see something about Michael E. Fossum Middle School in McAllen, Texas. So that's it. That's our scouting story. And I fully realize it's just one of millions and millions of scouting stories going on right now, including your hometown. That's why it's so incredibly important that we have heroes like you. Heroes who are willing to sacrifice of themselves, to give of themselves for a kid that may never even know you existed, but his life will be changed forever because of you. Because you gave him scouting. Because if there's one thing that everybody learned from the show, and learning every single day out there, never ever underestimate the power of a scout. God bless you, and thank you so much for the difference that you are making in the world.
Good evening. My name is Brendan Malanovich, Senior District Executive for the Shawnee District. Every year, we honor an individual or group within Mifflin and Juniata County with the Good Scout Award. The Good Scout Award for the 2020 year has been given to Ted Pannebaker for his contributions not only in scouting but other community activities. Please join me in congratulating Ted.
Congratulations, Ted.
Thank you very much. I thank the Boy Scouts of America for presenting this honor to me. It kind of takes me back to my younger days when I worked with Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, and I think some of the great memories that I have are working with young boys. When I think of the people that received this in the past, I'm not sure I feel worthy of it, but I'm certain something I will be proud of for a long, long time.
Hello, my name is David Eng, the President of Juniata Valley Council. It is my privilege today to be a part of an awards presentation to Kerry, Benninghoff. The award came to fruition about 5 years ago with the assistance of Sue Paterno, and we decided to name it the Joseph and Suzanne Paterno Community Impact Award. And as the name suggests, we recognize people that have gone above and beyond to provide service for their community. This year's recipient, I'm proud to announce, is Kerry Benninghoff. Kerry has been very, very active in a number of volunteer organizations, including the Easter Seals, YMCA, Kiwanis Club, to name a few. And of course, he's currently serving our central Pennsylvania area and the rest of the state as the Pennsylvania House of Representatives Majority Leader. So I would also like to thank the Barkers and the Hawbakers for their amazing and generous support, not only of this award, but scouting in general. So Sue, could I ask you to present the award to Kerry, please?
Kerry, it is my pleasure, because I've been with you a lot of things that you do, and you do a wonderful job. And thank you. Makes a difference in our world.
Absolutely. Well, I thank the Juniata Council, David, Jim,
Sue and the Holbakers and the Barkers. I'm not one for getting awards, but I do especially am pleased with this one because of what the Boy Scouts of America stand for and what these good people I'm standing with do. I'm humbled to even be standing amongst them. At the end of the day, it's really about our community and what's best for our community. I've been very blessed, whether it's through my church, through my children, Little League, YMCA. Sue and I have a lot of fun. We've done a lot with an organization called Pixie Dust Wishes here in central Pennsylvania, in Center County specifically. We both have a strong affinity for our Special Olympics. And I believe as we go through life, we have an opportunity to help other people. I've also had the opportunity to sit through a lot of Eagle Scout ceremonies. This community has been very strong with that. I believe in my tenure as representative, I've been to over 1,000 Eagle Scout ceremonies, which means we got over 1,000 new Eagle Scouts here in Center and Mifflin County. And that's a testament not only to the Boy Scouts, but the community leaders that help to invest in these organizations so they happen in perpetuity for future generations. So I appreciate the recognition. I feel like I'm a small grain of salt to that, but I hope I can live up to the standards and what this award represents, and I want to thank the council for that recognition as well. Thank you to all of you, and let's continue to enjoy this wonderful community that we love to live here and raise our children there.
And thank you, Kerry.
My blessings. Thank you. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Susie?
We're not touching.
I watched. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it very, very much. We don't take any of that for granted. Quite an honor.
Hey everyone, Terry here again. So that's it. Scouting really is an amazing program, isn't it? We have no idea the impact it's really making right there in your area. There are boys and girls, like I said, that you're going to affect that you'll have no idea exist, and they'll have no idea you ever existed. But their lives will be changed forever because of scouting. I've seen it happen so many times as a scoutmaster, as a scout leader. I've seen it happen. I know it's happening right now. The world needs more honorable men and women, and that's what scouting provides. I would rather donate right now and contribute to raising up good kids into good adults than have to pay more into the police force and prisons, etc. later on because we weren't there for them. And see, that's the challenge right now. Because of the pandemic, our budget has been greatly affected, and we are in danger. I've got to be upfront with you. We are in danger of not being there for them. Did you know that the Seven Mountains Scout Camp wasn't even able to happen this year? Now that's terrible because that's a lot of kids that didn't get a life-changing experience of Scout Camp, and it's also terrible because that dramatically affects our budget. There's also been several other fundraising events we weren't able to have because of COVID. Did you know that the Juniata Valley Council is now about $100,000 affected because of COVID? That's right, $100,000 that won't go into scouting unless we help it. $100,000 that won't be there to provide the program, the facilities, everything that adults need to provide scouting to kids. So I'm going to ask you right now, join me. Whether you've given to scouting in the past or not, I'm going to ask you to join me and up your bid. This year, I'm giving about 3 times the amount that I normally do to scouting, and that's saying something. I'm going to ask you to join me in doing that, please. These kids are too important. I've seen it. Odds are you've seen it, and you know. This won't last forever, this environment, but we're in it right now, perhaps one of the most challenging times in our movement's history. And we need people like you and I to step up. You know, JFK once said, and maybe you've heard this, he believed that one person could make a difference, and that every person should try. This is our chance. This is our opportunity. I hope you'll join me in providing scouting for these kids. And thank you. Thank you so much for the difference you're making in the world. This is Terry Fossum, tuning out now. Wishing you a great day, great scouting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for supporting scouting.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night.
light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Attention! Color guard, forward march. Color guard, retrieve the colors.